it's Megan with To the Table Homestead, and we have caught all our brown chickens. We also caught 2 guineas and my favorite chicken, Penelope, that we're going to harvest. And so it's a little tough on the family to harvest these hens that we've had for a long time, and we enjoy them, and so everybody's kind of torn up about it. But we're going to teach you guys how to clean and harvest an egg layer. It's so much different than a meat bird. It's a lot tougher, and there's lots of eggs that are inside of these pretty girls. And so here we're gonna it's kind of the same process though. You have the scalder and all of that, and so we're gonna go ahead and start doing that, and I'll talk about it as we go. So they'll go in the scalder just like the meat birds, same thing. Yeah, they're probably gonna have to stay in the scalder a little longer. They have so many more feathers, and their feathers are much better attached than the meat birds, so we'll keep them in here quite a bit longer. I'm just moving them around inside the scalder. It's at 145 degrees. Not too hot that it's going to cook them, but hot enough that it's going to loosen those feathers up, loosen that skin up, so those feathers will come out easy in the plucker. And we're just moving them up and down in here to cover them. Just a little bit longer. We hate to harvest our hens. Boys are upset about it. We're upset about it. Well, my husband probably isn't, but I am. But they are just tearing up the garden. They're in the garden, tearing up the turnips, tearing up our beets, eating off all of our crops that we planted, and we spend hours and hours and hours and hours weeding and planting and making beds, and then we lose all that to a couple chickens in the garden eating that stuff, and that's not okay. So sometimes this is the only way. And they will not just go to the dogs. We will eat them. They will feed our family. So after the scalder, you dip them in the cold water to stop that hot process, and then they go straight into the plucker. Penelope's still clean over there? I think so. So this type of bird that we're harvesting right now is called a Rhode Island Red. They're a dual purpose bird, which means that they are good layers, but after 2 years they stop laying as many eggs, and so you typically harvest them anyways around 2 years, which is what these guys are. And when you harvest them, they are a big enough bird that they will feed the family. They're not a tiny little egg layer. It's not. They have enough meat on them that they are also a good stew hen. So they have the two purposes, the laying and then being a stew hen. So I'm just checking those wing feathers, making sure those wing feathers are coming out pretty easy. And that means they're good to go into the plucker. If the wing feathers don't fall out pretty easily, it means they're not hot enough. So keep them in there a little longer. We also had to harvest our two guineas because they are one of the worst culprits of tearing up our garden. We have never had guinea meat before, but some people raise guineas to eat them, so we're gonna see what that's like. I know it's a darker meat. I think they're kind of more like a turkey meat. Probably more gamey tasting, but we'll see. Yeah. No, she's in there. She should still be in there. She didn't get out. She might be. I think I see her in the check stall. Okay. It is videoing, yep. Who are you? They are staying in the scalder much longer.
That might be that one I written.
Oh, that was brown chicken.
That one's not.
That's not brown chicken?
I don't know. Kind of looks like the one in Bruce's can.
No, that's brown chicken. I think she was ready. gonna snip the heads off. And we'll take the feet off. Everything's just a lot tougher. They've had 2 years to develop skin and cartilage and bone, and so it just doesn't come off as easily as the meat bird chicken.
We're done with the scalder for right now.
We're done with the scalder for right now. Yep. Everything's just so much tougher. There we go. Okay, almost. All right, then we'll do them just like the meat birds. We're gonna open up their chest and get that crop out. It's just a little balloon sort of thing that holds their food before it goes down into their gizzard. And they're gonna have some food in here because they've been eating a little bit this morning. And cut that skin around the neck. Detach that from the rest of the skin on the body so that you can clip the neck off. The neck and the feet again will be used for bone broth. They have a lot less breast meat and a lot less fat, so it's a little harder to work with. Just detach it from that breast meat, and we'll pull this out. This is the esophagus. It's also attached to the crop, so it'll pull right out like that, and then the rest of it will come out the other way. Let's go back to this one. Gonna get that tail cut off so we don't have that oil gland cooking with our meat, destroying that meat, making it taste bitter. And then we're going to cut about 1 inch right above the vent. Just real careful cuts. Okay, open it up. And then here's the funny part with the egg layers. We're going to see some eggs probably and some yolks in there. Just unattach all this stuff. So there comes the yolks. These are yolks that were gonna be eggs. And there is a full egg right there. I'll show you guys that, see? Right there. There's an egg in there. She would have laid that today. And then here's probably tomorrow's egg or the next day, and then they get smaller and smaller little yolks in there. Pretty cool. And then this is, I'm thinking this is the egg sac, and it's gonna have little bitty eggs in it. There's another smaller egg. Here's that next egg. So they just continue to produce those yolks, and as they pass them along, yeah, here's all the rest of the tiny ones. Little bitty tiny eggs. As they pass an egg, the next yolk grows big enough to be an egg, and then it's covered with the shell, and then they will pass that one. So this one is not ending up being too much of a mess. Sometimes those little egg yolks get busted when you're cleaning the cavity out, and it just is everywhere. It's a mess. So okay, just getting the lungs out of there. Sometimes those lungs get stuck to the backside of the backbone. Don't worry about keeping livers and hearts and gizzards and stuff like that. So there's that. I'll cut a little slit down here in this skin so I can tuck her legs in. Makes for easier putting in the bag. And we will make sure to mark her as a stew chicken because they do not get baked in the oven. They do not taste good baked in the oven. They're very tough meat. So better to put them in an Instapot or a steamer, not a steamer, but an Instapot or a crock pot or something like that. Cook them for
Gives them the small Yeti right
a
here.
couple hours.
Here's the last.
Right, we'll do more. So that's how you do a hen. That's how you do a laying hen. After 2 years, you want to harvest them because they're not laying as many eggs. And then you can eat them as stew chickens or whatever you want to do with them. But the best way to do it is to stew them in the Instapot, I think, for a couple hours. So that's it, and we'll see you guys later. We're going to bag the other chickens on the next video, so make sure to tune into that one. See you next time. Bye.